I'd like to call this meeting of the Westland City Council to order, please. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, tonight led by Autumn Gillespie and Gavin Mcgann.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'll stay right there, Councilman Hart will be down to talk to you for a few minutes.
Let's see, you can hear. Oh, wow, my mic's on. I think it's on. Yes, it's on. Very good. Did they do a great job? Yes. All right, remember what we practiced? Look, got it. All right, so these are our two students. They came to lead us in the pledge today. You guys know the routine. So I'm going to introduce them one at a time. So first to my left is Gavin Mcgann. If I get anything wrong, just tell me I got it wrong. Gavin is a 5th grade student in Miss Wade's class at Hamilton Elementary. His birthday is May 21st. Mine's May 27th, right on. Gavin's favorite subject in school is math, and when he is not at school, he likes to play video games. So do my kids. Gavin has 3 kittens, 1 cat, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and a partridge in a pear tree, right? Gavin is the middle child, so my daughter would relate to you being in the middle, but the middle child is always the most interesting one, I'm told. When Gavin grows up, though, he plans to be a lawyer. Really? Yeah. A lawyer? Well, look around. Jim Fossone right there does it, so he seems to like it. There you go. So, Gavin, we appreciate you coming out today, and I got a little certificate for you. I'm going to have you hold on to that. Here you are. And then, like we talked, places. They did so good. This is Autumn Gillespie. Did I get that right? Yes. Perfect. Autumn is a 4th grade student in Miss Keen's class at Hamilton Elementary. Miss Keen's. I just lost my A status. I'm down to a B. And not only is she a student in Miss Keen's class, her birthday is November 4th. So I have the distinct honor and privilege to make everybody in the city sing happy birthday to you. Are you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Autumn. Happy birthday to you. Give her a hand. I'm going to get into your bio. So, Autumn's favorite thing about Hamilton Elementary is the teachers, and when she's not at school, she likes to play with her puppy and enjoy her favorite food, pizza. Mine too. So Autumn did a fantastic job too, so while we were talking, we're getting the kids ready and all psyched up for this. I says, well, first you got to come stand over here, and then you got to do this. She goes, I got this, no problem. Pledge of Allegiance, I'm all over it. And she looks at Gavin, she goes, just watch me, I got you. So she did a fantastic job. So I've embarrassed them enough, but now I'm going to bring the principal and mom and dad, sister, brother, partridge in the pear tree all up here to come say hi to everybody too. So why don't you come on up. And stand behind your child of choice. All right, so I tried my best to embarrass them. What else can you tell us about these kids?
Nothing but good things. I was lucky enough to be Gavin's kindergarten teacher a few years back, and I've known Autumn also since kindergarten, so I'm just lucky to be a part of the Hamilton community and see them every day. They're great kids. And I do look forward to you being a lawyer, and Autumn hasn't let me know yet what she wants to be.
She'll be a defense attorney, so dealing with him. So, all right, so what can you tell us about Autumn?
There's a lot, actually, about Autumn. She's good. She's a good kid when she wants to be. Other than that, it's Autumn.
Perfect. This is Autumn. All right, so we embarrassed Mom and Autumn, so what can you tell us about Gavin?
Gavin is a very outgoing child. He has a couple other siblings as well, his sisters and brothers. He is very artistic. He really loves to draw, but mostly plays games. But he is very, very outgoing. Like I said, it's interesting hearing that he wants to be a lawyer. This is new for me. So I'm like, woohoo, go Gavin. So very proud mom. Very proud mom.
Well, thanks again for bringing the kids out. Principal, thanks again for bringing them out. It's always the highlight of our city council meetings, I assure you. Once you give these guys a great round of applause.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Green? Present. Councilman Hammond is excused tonight. Councilman Hart? Here. Councilman Herzberg? Here. Councilman Johnson? Here. Councilman Landau?
Here.
President Gabout?
Present. We'll begin with announcements and presentations. Mary?
Good evening, Councilman Godbout, to the entire council, to the deputy mayor, to all the dignitaries that are here, and to the fine citizens of Westland. I'm Mary McClendon from the Office of Wayne County Commissioner, Glenn Anderson. It's always a pleasure to be here at your fine meeting. I just have a few updates for you. The Light Fest will open up on November the 21st. Beginning at 6 p.m., that will be the kickoff. That's at Hines Park, Merriman Howell, near the Hines Drive and Merriman Road. So that begins at 6 p.m. And there's good news this year. Browners has given new lights for the Light Fest, so it'll be far more exciting than it's been before. So it's going to be really great. It runs through December the 31st. You certainly can't go on Christmas Day because everybody wants to be at home. But the hours are from 7 until 10, Monday through Friday, 6 until 10, Saturday and Sunday, and it's only $5 per vehicle. So you can load up your van, only for $5. Where can you receive entertainment such as that? And it's very, very nice. They're out putting them out now. I was down through Hines Park the other day, and they're really looking nice. So be sure to put that on your agenda to take part of the Light Fest kickoff and for the Light Fest during the season. Also, I want you to know today was the coffee hours for the commissioner and the state reps. And but that's it for this year. So if you did not go today, you won't until next year. And so although we won't have coffee hours, we certainly are working. And if you need to tell us about something or to contact us, do not hesitate to let us know. Also, there's been approval for the commission meetings to record in their sessions now. It has not been happening before, so they will be recorded. It'll help with record keeping, but it also will give you a chance to see what happens during the Wayne County Commission meetings. There are 2 cameras that have been purchased and 1 for the committee room, and that will be recorded as well. So many of you are not able to go downtown because it's pretty crowded downtown these days, and that's a good thing. But you can stay home and you can see those meetings as they convene. Now, those should start sometime this month. I don't have the exact date, but that should happen sometime this month. Also, for contracts, construction contracts for more than $2 million, the county now has warranties. So we should see some better products on our roads. And that should happen, all right, I hear somebody laughing about our roads, but we have good roads in some areas, okay? But next year, that should happen as well. And that's all I have for you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, Mary. Charles Corley?
How you doing? I would like to thank City Council President Gabout, City Council, and all the elected officials. I also like to thank the citizens of Westland for allowing me to come here to speak today. My name is Charles Corley, and I'm running for Wayne County Sheriff in 2020. Wayne County has some of the best officers in the world. Our officers work night and day to serve and protect those citizens. But unfortunately, our officers are part of a criminal justice system that is broken. Wayne County Sheriff Department houses 1,600 to 1,700 men and women each day, and with no plan of rehabilitation. A lack of adequate oversight of our facilities has led to the sheriff deputies to work in deplorable conditions. Our deputies are subject to substandard training, which also battling extreme fatigue, which just those two conditions put our community in a grave danger. As sheriff, I will provide our deputies with the training they need, training such as abnormal and suspicious behavior, training when dealing with those who may have mental health issues, conflict resolution training, as well as sensitivity and diversity training. We will provide those men and women who are incarcerated with the ability to be viable citizens once released back into the community. We will focus on reestablishing.
I'm sorry, but this period is for group announcements or presentations. It's really not for laying out a political campaign platform. So,
Okay.
I mean, we also have citizens' comments at the end where everybody gets 3 minutes. So you could come back at another time and address council at that point, because we can't, that is not specific to groups or participation
Right.
in events, okay, not for, but this section isn't for political commentary.
I understand.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We have some members of our illustrious police department here, if they'd like to come up. It's always good when they're holding big checks.
For the big check store. Council President, Deputy Mayor, members of council, citizens of Westland. Before I start talking about what happened on October 4th, 2019, we beat the fire department again. I just want to start with the Westland administration always challenges myself and Officer Kozak to kind of innovate ways to be productive within the community. As community police officers, we've taken it upon ourselves to try to make a platform to where we can give back as much as possible to our community. And we're constantly trying to come up with ways and figure out things that have not been done. Something about Officer Kozak and I, we sit in the car with each other every day for the past 2 years, and we become brothers, and we may fuss, we may fight with each other, but something that we both share a compassion for is giving back. One day he told me a story about Mr. Haney's resale shop and about how it had an effect on his family. And once we looked further, we came across the Palmer Lighthouse Home Mission. We found out what they were doing, the lives they were trying to change, and the people they were trying to help. So we came across and said we wanted to give back to them and do something. This year, on October 4th, 2019, we held our second annual Battle of the Badges event. It's a Police vs. Fire charity event where we play basketball versus the fire department, and just like last year and the year before, we won. We're not going to tell the score. We're not going to, sorry, Chief, I apologize. But the event is for a broad spectrum to where we come out, get out of uniform on the police and fire side, and let the citizens see us for who we are, and also to give back to the community. This year, like I mentioned, we mentioned the Palmer Lighthouse, and that's where all of our proceeds, we had help from the Lieutenants and Sergeants Association, the POAM Associations, the Wayne Fork Civic League, the Rotary Club, the Westland Democratic Association, Southeast Homeowners Association, and many more to mention. DPS helped us out tremendously, and it was all for a great cause. And it was for an individual and a group of people who are constantly going unrecognized within our community that we believe deserved to have some help. So today we would like to honor Pastor Benetal from the Palmer Lighthouse a check that we actually surplus last year's amount by over $500. We were able to raise $2,800 this year to benefit the Palmer Lighthouse. So, Pastor, step up.
You know, we couldn't do anything if it wasn't for the help of the community, and especially them helping us. Nothing would happen. We're the hands that's doing the work, but we can't do it. We're all working together. And we help feed many, many people. I know a lot of people know about us, and some people don't. But we feed thousands of people every single year, and we house people. We open up our center, our women's center, so that people can come in that's homeless during the wintertime. It'll be opening in January. And it runs for 3 months. We have a soup kitchen there, if you don't know that. And we help children with toys, seniors with gifts, clothes, furniture, appliances. And we work with Gleaners Food Bank, Forgotten Harvest, the Food Network, Focus Hope. We've been doing this for going on 35 years in this community, and most people didn't even know we were in the backyard. So, but we couldn't do anything without your help and your support. So God bless every single one of you, and God bless the fire department and the police, especially my brother. God bless you. God bless you. Wow. I thought he was going to take pictures. Yeah. I didn't know where you were at. Yeah, we gotta, yeah. How are we doing this? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to citizens' questions or input on the agenda. Citizens will be recognized before the business of the meeting commences to address the council pertaining to items that are specifically on the business agenda. Citizens are asked to limit their questions or input to 3 minutes. Is there anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Well, Mr. Graham?
Richard Graham from Westland, and also with Move Westland forward to the council. I guess the deputy mayor, since Mayor Wild isn't here tonight, under the consent calendar, items H and I, requesting approval for the waive the city hall rental fees for a couple of items. Especially item I, this was a great event last year for the citizens of Westland, and I assume even our surrounding communities, especially the way city hall rentals have been handled, at least for one council person here, with basically getting those for free. It would be great based on this event and it giving back to the community. Last item, new business number 3, and the confirmation of appointments to the Parks and Rec Advisory Council. You know, just one comment, just to make people aware, to make sure people remember. I see one person on here, Mr. Hornbuckle, that's being appointed to this. We must remember Mr. Hornbuckle was part of the Mayor Wild appointed library board when they fired 5 young professional women. So looks like he's getting put on to some other council by, I assume, the mayor. But just to make sure everybody remembers what transpired 2 to 3 years ago when the library, 5 women were fired. Thank you.
Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? We'll close citizens' comments and move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion by Councilman Landau, supported by Councilman Johnson? Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Councilwoman Green?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that the city council packet that Kyle delivered, or whomever, the information that he put in regarding the health summit, I sent him an email on October the 22nd when he asked for additional information, and I'm not sure why he changed one sentence, because he pretty much copied and pasted everything that I sent him, but he rewrote one of the sentences and it actually has false information. So the sentence that he changed in the packet states that this event is sponsored by the Yemeni American community. That is not what I sent him. The sentence actually, the email that I sent him stated, "This event is being brought to Westland residents this year by nonprofit partner, the Yemeni American community. The sponsorship is being raised by a variety of donors to pay for the expenses relative to the event. The Yemeni American Council partnered with me as the nonprofit who is assisting with collecting the sponsorships that are raised." So they are not sponsoring this event. It's a collective sponsorship from individuals, residents, organizations, elected officials. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion from the council? Any further discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
Council has voted to approve the following items. Approval of minutes of the regular meeting held October 21st, 2019. Approval of bid for professional station alerting services for the fire department to the lone bidder, Bricks Incorporated, total amount not to exceed $129,800. Approval of renewal of SmartNet service agreement with Cisco for maintenance services of our city devices, including security, firmware updates for the Department of Innovation and Technology. Total cost is not to exceed $6,645.02. Adoption of temporary manpower budget amendment. Increase 1 police officer and 1 sergeant position in the Westland Police Department, effective November 11, 2019 through December 23, 2019. Adoption of Ordinance 248-A94, an ordinance to amend zoning ordinance 248 to show CB3 district classification where CB2 is now shown in the area situated in the city of Westland, described as 6503 North Wayne Road, parcel number 034-99-0030-703, west side of Wayne Road between Warren and Hunter. Planning case number 1559J. Adoption of ordinance 220-A-4, an ordinance to amend Chapter 26, Article 1, Section 26-2 of the Westland City Code to regulate and license secondhand dealers and junk dealers. Approval of change in financing from fully insured to self-insured for the dental benefits offered to employees and retirees. Approval of request from Councilwoman Green to waive the City Hall rental fee to host an elder abuse town hall meeting on December 3rd, 2019, from 10 a.m. until 12 o'clock in City Hall. Approval of request from Councilwoman Green to waive the City Hall rental fees to host the annual Westland Community Health Summit on November 16th from 10:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. in City Hall. Adoption of prepared resolution honoring the life and service of former Congressman John Conyers, Jr., who passed away on October 27, 2019. Moving to new business. Item number 1, approval of proposed land division and combination, South John Hicks, parcel number 079-99-0011-701, south of Palmer Road, north of Glenwood, on the east side of South John Hicks. Petitioner Donald Raymore, Jr.
Motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilman Herzberg. Oh,
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Westland City Council. The petitioner is proposing 2 things in this item. There's a land division going on and then a combination of the 2 resulting parcels. So the subject property here is located in a single-family residential neighborhood. It's outlined in yellow on your screen. This residential neighborhood is located at the southwest corner of the city, south of Palmer, between Hanan and South John Hicks. The site comprises of about 40,000 square feet, is undeveloped and grass planted, again, as shown on your screen, and is zoned R1, single-family residential zoning classification. So the petitioner is proposing to split this parcel into 2 equal pieces, approximately this red line here, and then combining it with this parcel and this parcel here. The resulting parcels do comply with the zoning ordinance, the minimum lot width and lot size requirements required in the zoning district of these 2 parcels. Well, the resulting parcels, to backtrack, are going to be 60 feet here and 60 feet here, either this side going to the south, this side going to the north, and they're, again, going to be combined to form a parcel here that's about 266 feet of width and about 180 feet in width to the south. Again, complying with all of the zoning regulations in the R1 zoning district. The Planning Commission held a public hearing for this and is recommending approval to you as well as the Planning Department. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, we just don't want no neighbors.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Sure.
New business item number 2, confirmation of reappointment of Andrew Spizak to the Westland Planning Commission for a 3-year term to expire November 5th, 2022.
Motion by Councilman Landau, supported by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? MJ?
Thanks, Council President. Just want everybody to know that Mr. Spizak's been serving since, I believe, since 2000 on Planning Commission, and as a former deputy mayor, we hope that you support him from when he served. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Andy, would you like to be recognized?
New business item number 3, confirmation of appointments of Angela Anderson, Delano Hornbuckle, Jessica West, John Albrecht, Julie Slabaugh, and Cherie Khan to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Council, terms to begin upon council confirmation and expire on December 31st, 2021.
Motion by Councilman Herzberg, supported by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. You'd all like to stand to be recognized?
Do the next one?
Yeah.
New business item number 4, approval of vouchers.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilman Landau. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to citizens' comments or requests. Citizens will be recognized at the end of the meeting immediately following the agenda item approval of vouchers. Citizens are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. All citizens wishing to speak will be heard. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Mr. Graham?
Richard Graham from Westland and also with Move Westland Forward. Last month, I again came before council about Council President Godbout's ultra-low hall rental. I continue to have 2 open items. Council President pays what he owes to the city, the residents and taxpayers, determine who, as Councilman Johnson stated, had the juice for the sign-off. After my last council meeting, I wondered and contemplated if I should continue asking while Mayor Wild and his staff provided fake information to duck the questions and make this right to the taxpayers. No doubt whoever signed off on this stole money from the taxpayers by authorizing it. Move Westland Forward via Facebook did 2 posts after the October meeting. The first was who people thought authorized it. The majority of people think Deputy Mayor Reddy was the person that signed off, beating Mayor Wild and then Parks and Rec Director Brian Harnos. We then conducted a vote if I should continue coming here and talking about it. 83% of the people who voted wanted me to continue, and less than 40 people wanted me to stop. We also have to remember it was a city employee that informed Move Westland Forward about the issue, and the majority of people on council have indicated something should be done. Even the council president said he would pay if provided an invoice, and I did that invoice. It is amazing that the council president thought he could have almost half of City Hall on a Saturday night for his son's wedding at only $390, which is approximately 70% off or $1,150. We must also remember that via FOIA, he paid $0 for his wife's retirement party on taxpayer property. This shows a history of Mr. Godbout getting benefits the rest of us do not receive. So Mayor Wild, but I guess he's not here today, so Deputy Mayor Reddy, will you invoice the council president and let us know who authorized it? This is not going away because the residents who voted and spoke to us want me to continue. Deputy Mayor Reddy, are you?
I'll answer that question during my comments. Last couple meetings ago when we tried to address that with you at the podium, you never gave us an opportunity, so.
You don't want to do it now? I'm just standing here?
This is the same thing you did 2 meetings ago, so we're not going to play that game.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of BS and spin about multiple Parks and Rec director.
You're doing it again.
Which is a lie, because I'm explaining why. What was it? What was that? You want to do that again for the camera? Thank you.
Is there anyone on my left? Mr. Warren.
It's going to take a second or two for my fellow homeowners to get up here. Okay, over the last 2 weeks, at the last 2 council meetings, members of this newly formed Citizens of Annapolis Park has demanded that council submit to their request that the Annapolis Park be made a historical district. When there was no position taken, the statement was made that it was because the members who were requesting this were black and dirty. I want to make it clear to council and those who listen to those remarks that is the position of Ms. Everett and Ms. Everett's alone. That is not the position of the Southeast Westland Homeowners Association. The Southeast Westland Homeowners Association has had a very good working relationship with the administration and city council in regards to issues that occurred in the 28th precinct. And her statements have no factual basis. Since 1955, the association, again, has worked along with the administration and council and various councils. And there have been records kept since 1975 of the amounts of monies of community development which have been provided to the Southeast 28th precinct. And just to give you an example, The North Wayne community over that period has received $25 million in its community block grant assistance, and Annapolis Park has received $15 million over that period. So there has been no neglect in that. We're just talking about community development funds. We're not talking about the millions of dollars for pump houses, road paving, and other entities and emergency issues that occurred. And particularly one of the most recent emergency issue that occurred was the tearing down of the old Fraser School. And also recently, with our partnering with county, city, federal, and state representatives, we were able to get gazebos and park equipment over in that area. So there always have been assistance to the 28th precinct, and it's come in the form of neighborhood stabilization, emergency rehab issues, Habitat for Humanity, which has done a lot of work down in the 28th precinct, and we're talking about from Henry Ruff all the way over to Inkster Road. We're just not talking about the immediate predominantly Afro-American community. There's also been Homebuyers Assistance, and to the newly created Wilshire project, there were 11 homes in there which received buyer assistance. And one of our council members in the house that she stays in has received some home buyers assistance for down payment. So there has not been the characterization of which Ms. Leverett has talked about. But basically, the only street that has not been affected with community development funds is Paul Street, and there's only 4 houses there. There are 354 homes in Annapolis Park, and I think that all the residents believe in property rights, and they should have the democratic principle of being approached to see if they want this to be done in their community. And we believe that the Southeast Westland Homeowners Association is the proper venue for that to occur.
Thanks, Mr. Warren.
Okay, so I'll stop there. But just to make it clear, we believe in the democratic principles that people own their property, they have property rights, and they should be addressed in regards to that before any major change comes from the administration or council. Thank you.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everybody. When the police were up here earlier this evening, they mentioned that they are always looking for ways to be innovative in ways that they react and interact with the community. And there was a very long council meeting a few weeks back, and I had to leave early, so I wasn't able to share this. So the end of September, the police held a special needs day. My grandchildren were there. And it was an amazing opportunity for them to come and interact with police, to meet their wonderful dog, to go into the police station, and each one of them had an opportunity to connect with different police officers, both men and women. Children that have special needs have a very difficult time interacting in social situations with everybody else. And sometimes it's just really nice, even though they should be part of a whole all the time, as much, for example, when they're in school, we try and make sure that children that have special needs, as much as is possible, they are interacting with the general population. But sometimes it's really nice for kids that have an issue to be able to partner with people who treat them well and show them value just for who they are. So I want to thank you. I hope you do it again. And one last thing, I know that this won't be televised till after a vote is done. For everybody in this room, vote. Make your voice heard. As citizens, we should be responsible with the privilege that we've been given. So make sure you vote.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Dan?
Good evening. My name's Dan Stachow, citizen of Westland. I just have a short thing. I just found this out about an hour before the meeting, so I'm going to read this. Starting Wednesday, November the 13th, 2019, every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday between the hours of noon, or rather 9 a.m. and noon. Veterans Haven, located at 4924 South Wayne Road, will be having a winter clothing giveaway to homeless veterans. This includes males and females. Items given away will be winter coats, jackets, hats, gloves, scarves, sweaters, things of that nature. As I said previously, there are also items for homeless females, veterans. This event is put on by Veterans Haven, as I stated. Telephone number to them is 734-788-2464, and anybody interested in donating any items, please give them a call. And everybody have a great evening. Thank you.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Yes.
Lori Wilson, Westland. There was one other statement that was made at the last meeting about this historic city district. It was stated that the Westland, Southeast Westland Homeowners Association didn't have anything to do with this. Yes, we do. Of that board, the members of the board, 5 people live in Annapolis Park. So this is a Southeast Westland Homeowners Association, Annapolis Park issue. This should have been brought to the homeowners as we requested in writing of Ms. Everett and her commission, concerned citizens, whatever. It was not brought back to us. We were circumvented by them bringing it directly to the mayor and then turning around 2 weeks later and bringing it to the council. All we ask is that it be brought to us, we discuss it. There's too many things that have to be put in place. There's too many things that obviously they don't realize that if you make an area of the city, a residential area of the city, a city historic district, there are things that can never, ever be changed. It's going to affect your property. It's going to affect every time you want to change anything. If a tree falls on your house, you have to replace that roof with the same materials, the same shingles, everything from the point of inception of this so-called historic district. Things have not been explained to the homeowners. They don't know about these things. If they're not told, they won't know.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? We'll close citizens' comments and move on to comments from the administration.
Thank you, Council President. Couple things. Congratulations to the members who were appointed to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. We appreciate your service. We got some work to do, and we appreciate you stepping up and helping out. And Mr. Hornbuckle, if you could stand real quick, please, I'd appreciate that. I owe you an apology. There's an individual in this room who just hates the administration and hates the city, and any chance he can take a whack at somebody he does, and you didn't deserve that. We appreciate you stepping up and serving on this board, and I appreciate it too, so thank you very much, sir. And Council President, as far as an issue that we addressed quite some time back, clear up the issue on the invoice here at City Hall, if you don't mind. I reached out to several of our past Parks and Rec directors, not just the last one or the one before that, several of our Parks and Rec directors. And what we found was that, and we're going back to the days when we had the Bailey Center and basketball courts and things like that, is the Parks and Rec directors had discretion on what they could charge, not charge. It was kind of an open-ended thing for them that if an organization came in or something, they could say, yeah, we'll give it to you for this price, or yeah, we'll give it to that price. So it's not an odd thing for that to happen. With the case with the council president having the hall rented, a price was quoted to him, same way as it's been done years in the past, and he paid the invoice that was paid to him. After reaching out to the past directors and finding this out, I said, well, obviously this is going to be an issue that'll just go on and on if we have this discretion. And I agree, we shouldn't have a discretion. It should be set. City council sets the rates. Those are the rates that the residents and anybody else, non-residents, whoever comes, should pay. So as you've seen is on the last couple agendas, you have seen items asking for council to approve waiving the fees for room rentals. And we're doing this because council approves the fees, these are the fees we charge, and then that's what we're going to charge. So you'll see that going forward. And we don't give that discretion anymore to our current Parks and Rec Director, Kyle Mulligan, will not have that discretion. The fees are the fees. Doesn't matter what organization you're with, these are the fees. If you'd like to get them waived, you ask to have an agenda put on, you come to the city council, and if council waives it, then you don't have to pay it. In light of the invoice that Council President Godbout received, after reviewing it, seeing what the price was, it was not in line with the fees that the city would normally charge anybody that would come in. Again, there was discretion to what fees were applied. I issued an invoice to the council president paid for it. He had no problem doing it. As he stated in the past, I paid the invoice that was given to me. We gave him a new invoice, he paid the invoice. We appreciate the fact that he paid it, but it wasn't anything he did wrong, it wasn't anything the city did wrong, it was just how the operations at the time were being run. We've rectified that, so there is no discretion going forward. Nobody will receive what we call favoritism or anything else. If you want any kind of fee waived, you come to the city council chambers, you put it on the agenda, and then city council will waive that fee, as we saw again tonight with 2 items, and we saw it at the last council meeting with Relay for Life. So going forward, again, that's the process. So we appreciate that. Thanks again, Council President, for paying that once we issued you the proper invoice. And again, and good luck for those tomorrow in your election. And we appreciate everybody coming out. And again, Mr. Hornbuckle, I'm very sorry for it's not you. It's just the man has a deep hatred for me and the mayor. So thank you.
Anything from the city attorney's office? Again, council comments with Councilwoman Green.
Thank you. I'd like to start by thanking City Council for approving the use of City Hall for the Westland Community Health Summit that will take place on next Saturday here at Westland City Hall from 11 to 3 o'clock. We will serve a full hot lunch as well as a variety of free medical screenings and resources, all provided by a variety of doctors and hospitals that will be present to offer those services free of charge. We will also have other resources on sites, and as well as the upcoming town hall with Attorney General Dana Nessel on December the 3rd. That will take place here at City Hall as well. She's going to come in and talk about a lot of the legislation that she is going to be putting before our state representatives and senators in hopes to kind of lower the hammer down on some of these organizations who are, and people who are taking part in abusing senior citizens and those who are disabled, taking advantage of them, not providing proper service, and really leaving them in very volatile and sometimes health and safety risk issues. So thank you, City Council, for that. Also, the Friend of the Library, there's this Friend of the Library book sale coming up as a reminder. That's going to be Thursday, November the 14th, and, excuse me, it's starting Tuesday, November the 14th through Thursday, November the 17th. I apologize. That's going to be Thursday, November the 17th through Sunday, and all items are 25 cents. Also wanted to remind the community that if you are a veteran, a current military person, a retiree, or a widow of a veteran, the Wayne Westland Civic League is currently signing people up for full Thanksgiving baskets, and that is a full meal that can feed, I believe, up to 7 people. And if you have any questions or if you would like to get signed up, you can do so on the cityofwestland.com website, or you can contact the Ford Civic League at 734-728-5010. Also, as previously stated, tomorrow is Election Day. We are your representatives, and it is very important that you vote if you're able to, and let your voice be heard in terms of who represents your interest here in our community. So please exercise your right to vote, and the polls open at 7 a.m. and they will close at 7 p.m. If you have absentee ballots, you can bring those to City Hall for delivery and to be counted tomorrow. I wanted to speak to the Southeast Community Homeowners Association that stood up, and there was a statement that they represent the citizens of the 28th precinct. There are thousands of citizens in the 28th precinct. I actually live in the 28th precinct, and we are, I believe, the highest voting precinct in the city of Westland. If we're not number one, we're definitely number two, but I believe we are number one. It is a very large precinct, and I just wanted to clarify that that group does not speak for the community. They speak for them. They do not speak for the 28th precinct. And there was a mention in terms of housing assistance that, or Homebuyer Association, it's some type of housing assistance that a councilwoman, which I believe he was talking about me because I'm the only woman who sits up here. MISHDA actually is currently still offering, and also banks, the federal government, the state, there are still programs that offer first-time home buyer down payment assistance. I believe MISHDA is currently offering $7,500 that is forgivable for anyone. These are programs that have been going on for decades. And I purchased my home 14 years ago, so I'm not sure why that was relevant to what was stated. But I just wanted to clarify, regardless of what is transpiring, that group does not speak for the 28th precinct at all. They speak for them. And I would just caution people when taking these statements from Arthur Warren as being factual. This is the individual who, during our last election cycle, authored a front page newsletter that was allegedly distributed through our community, 20,000 copies twice during last election season, and he accused two councilmen, one who was running for mayor at that time, one who currently sits on council. He accused them of being racist, associated with neo-Nazis and Ku Klux Klan members because he didn't support them and did not want them to be reelected. One of them he accused or implied that he was a child predator, and in hopes to ruin their chances of being reelected. 6 months after the gentleman who was running for mayor decided to run for our state representative, and he's currently our state representative, Arthur Warren and the Westland Democratic Club endorsed him for office. So you would make statements like that that are very harmful to someone's reputation, and how the community views them, and then after you reach your goal of causing harm to them and or their family, then you turn around and endorse them. And this is not the only instance of this gentleman taking actions and making statements that are not factual. So I would caution people, when you take advice from him, do your research. The people that he accused of actually being neo-Nazis and Ku Klux Klan are on the verge, I believe is what he put on the front page newspaper. They're not neo-Nazis and racists. They just did not support the people that he supported. So a lot of this that is going on is totally political. Please don't buy into it. And I just wanted to add clarity because a lot of people don't know what's going on in the city of Westland if you don't come to our meetings. If you are watching the council meetings on TV, you may not be aware that a lot of these things and the people who come to the podium, the intent is not always with a positive outcome in mind. So again, he does not speak for the 28th precinct at all. And finally, I wanted to touch on what our deputy mayor stated in his effort to clarify the invoice with Council President Guy about He stated that the Parks and Recreation directors had the discretion previously to offer different rates. That information, it could have been true, but it was actually false when I got elected. And there was a statement in terms of everything goes through city council. I wanted to give a little clarity in terms of why things are going through city council. The reason why they're going through city council is because the action that the city took against me when I brought in the same hospitals and doctors last year in the free lunch and raised money to have this event here last year, the mayor told me I had to pay $1,250, while I learned that other friends, family, or organizations, and then also Council President Gabao got it almost next to nothing to have a wedding ceremony or after party here for his son, whereas I was bringing in free medical resources and basically had to threaten to file a civil rights complaint for discriminatory action against the city of Westland to not have to pay the full rate. And after further investigation, it was found that this has been common practice for the selective choices in terms of we treat you this way and we treat other people that way. So that's just one of multiple instances in terms of the differences in how people are treated. And in my case, there's multiple instances and there's multiple differences. So this policy or process that's being ran through City Council now is because of how I was treated. This is not the fact that we now have a travel policy, reimbursement policy, is because I was discriminated against by the City of Westland. A lot of the things that have taken place are because they broke the law when it related to me. So I will not allow a statement, a misquote, when in fact the reason why this is now being ran through City Council is because the City of Westland discriminated against me. And I stood up for myself and took the appropriate action to ensure that they didn't do it again. So I thank all of you for coming out tonight and encourage you to make your voices heard at the polls tomorrow.
Councilman Hart.
Hi, everybody. It's November, and November is a good month for veterans. So first of all, I wanted to come out and say Happy Veterans Day to all my veteran brothers and sisters. It'll be November 11th. It's 1 week from today. And one day before that on Sunday is the Marine Corps birthday. And if anybody knows how to party in the military, it's the Marines. So to all my Marine Corps brothers and sisters out there, I was Army, but you know, service member, Marine members, former Marines, have a good time, keep it to a dull roar, and I'll probably see you on Sunday anyway, and I'll buy you a beer. But with that, and the councilwoman did lead into it, so thank you for opening that up. I appreciate it. We do have the Veterans Meal Program that we do. The mayor's been working with the Wayne Ford Civic League and past elected officials, and now they're even partnering with Mayor Racy from the city of Wayne. So there is a Veterans Meal Program, and she was correct. I just wanted to get all the details out here because I couldn't remember it. But it is open to any veteran, past service, active duty, or they are extending it up to family members extended from a deceased veteran as well. But recipients will receive a 16 to 20 pound turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet potatoes, corn, green beans, cranberry sauce, and heat and serve rolls for a family of approximately 6 to 8 people. So Jim, how do I get on this wonderful list? I'm glad you asked. So you can, if you're internet savvy, go to thecityofwestland.com/vet meals. Or if you don't want to deal with the internet and you just want to call the mayor's office, you can do that too. So they'll be ready to take your calls. You can call the mayor's office at 734-467-3200. Just speak one of the fine people over there in the mayor's office, has to be put on the veterans list, and we'll get you taken care of. Now, we've been doing this for 6 years. I'm there every year helping turkeys out the door, and it's always fun to have all the veterans show up. We got their name on a list. We carry all their food out to their car for them. But if you can't make it, or your veteran member just can't get out the front door, we get that. Let us know ahead of time, and then we'll do our best to deliver it to them that day as well. So we'll get all the deliveries out, and then after everything's out, we'll go ahead and send our teams out there to get taken care of, everybody else out there in the community. So register by November 22nd. The earlier, the better, please. So that way we just, logistics, everything's taken care of. And the actual event will be, like she said, November 23rd at the Wayne Ford Civic League is where we hand all those out. And you'll see my smiling face and a couple of other folks there too. So with that, thanks again. Enjoy your day. And how cool is it to sing Happy Birthday to Autumn today? That was really cool. So as always, I say, usually the highlight of our council meetings are when the kids are up here. Kind of reminds us how to behave. So with that, have a good evening and happy Veterans Day.
Councilman Johnson.
Thank you. Just like to congratulate Andy on his reappointment and the other folks that got appointed to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. I'd like to echo what the lady in the back said too. Everybody should get out and vote. In my way of thinking, if you don't vote, you don't come complaining if you don't vote. You'll make the decision tomorrow which four will sit on the council. There'll be 2 new ones. And just for everybody, I don't think any of the candidates are in the audience, but good luck to everybody tomorrow. I don't envy you. As a matter of fact, it's going to be cold and I won't miss it a bit. You guys got about 12 or 14-hour day ahead of you tomorrow, so I'm going to shut up, but good luck to everybody.
Councilman Londo.
Thanks. I want to start. I didn't sing happy birthday to me last week. I'm going to be under a minute. Time me. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you for all the announcements that were made tonight. It saved me from having to do them. Also want to thank Attorney Mark Bernstein and the Bernstein Law Firm for an update on the mass action opioid lawsuit. It was a closed study session tonight he's timing me, see? It was a closed study session, but he brought some great clarity to where we're at with this opioid mass action lawsuit. Congratulations to Andy Spizak for your reappointment to the Westland Planning Commission. You've been a long-time planning commissioner. You do a great job. Also, congratulations to Angela Anderson, Delano Hornbuckle, Jessica West, John Albrecht, Julie Slaybaugh, and Cherie Khan for your appointments to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Council. That's kind of how I got my start in the city, was serving on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Council. So looking forward to having you guys on board. Last 2 things. I want to congratulate the Westland Meteors on a tremendous season. Through adversity, crazy weather, and injuries, our freshman team rolled through with an undefeated season for a 3-peat as the Western Suburban Junior Football League Super Bowl champs. So congratulations to them. And also our JV team showed out with a big victory as well to claim their title as Super Bowl champs for the WSJFL Junior Varsity. 2 events to announce, so I'm going to go over a minute. The Pizza Palooza is coming up, the 3rd annual Relay for Life of Westland Wayne Pizza Palooza. It's coming up next Wednesday right here at City Hall on November 13th. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. It's really a cool event. You get to try about 8 to 10 different pizza places from here in the city of Westland. It's $10 for adults, $7 for children, and under 5 is $5. It's really cool. They do some quarter auctions. There's a chance to win some great prizes. And then lastly, the Joyful Women Fall Fling Vendor Show is taking place on Saturday, November 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Mary Cause of Our Joy Social Hall at 8200 North Wayne Road. That admission is $3. It includes a continental brunch from 10 a.m. to noon. And then really lastly, thank you to Donna for chairing our meeting tonight. Donna, for those who don't know, is our council secretary. She does a great job, so thank you. You guys got a long day ahead of you, and good luck to all the candidates out there. As someone who's been a candidate multiple times, I know what you're going through, so good luck to you all. Thanks.
I'm glad I took the over.
But it's still a personal best.
Councilman Hersberg.
Thank you. Yeah, just real quick, the Wayne County Light Fest kicks off November 21st at 6 p.m. There's a little ceremony over there at, if you go into Hines Park, right off of Merriman Road, just south of Warren, or north of Warren, I'm sorry. And there's a fireworks show, so it's a good time, 6 p.m., November 21st. And also, it was mentioned that the Wayne County Commission meetings are, for the first time, going to be recorded. So I'm looking forward to watching those. It still amazes me that they went all this time and kind of operated in the dark, and we had no idea what they were talking about or how they were voting. So it's really a really good thing that we're going to be able to start following that. Just want to congratulate Andy Spizak on your reappointment. Been there quite a while, and you're very knowledgeable, very important to that commission. And we rely on your guys' recommendations quite often. So thanks for that. And also congratulations to all the Parks and Rec appointments. Something was mentioned about Delano Hornbuckle, but I think to clear it up, when that library stuff was going on, it was very stressful for a lot of people. He was brand new to the board at the time. And I think he was the only board member that was actually here at the council meetings, listening to a lot of the testimony that we were getting. So I think he handled himself well, and he did the right thing, and definitely support him for being on future commissions. We had some issues this week, or Westland Meadows neighborhood had some issues with the trash pickup. I just wanted to reach out to the mayor's office and say thanks. You guys did an amazing job responding to that within a couple hours and getting that cleaned up. It was kind of out of the ordinary situation with ordinance, but I was really surprised to see that the mayor's office jumped on that and got it taken care of. And then election tomorrow, best of luck to the clerk's office and all the election workers who are going to put in 14, 15, sometimes even a longer day for the counting board. So that's it. Thanks.
Thanks. I'd like to start by thanking Autumn and Gavin, the two students from Hamilton Elementary, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. I too would like to thank Andy for serving on the Planning Commission, continuing to serve on the Planning Commission. And those recommendations that somebody made sometimes get us in trouble as well. So not only just the Planning Commission, but Andy, you've given so much service to this city, and you continue to give your service to this city, and it's deeply appreciated. To those members that got appointed to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, welcome. Thank you for serving. It's an important role, and we appreciate it. And to Delano, I apologize. I should have called Mr. Graham out of order. It clearly states in our policies and procedures that personal attacks will not be tolerated, and I apologize for not calling him out of order at that point in time. Unfortunately, we don't have that same policy for council members' personal attacks on residents as part of our policies and procedures. So my recommendation to whoever is sitting up here when the policies and procedures get reviewed, that personal attacks made by council members also be prohibited as well. And the deputy mayor already addressed the issue in regards to my payment for the city hall rental. Again, it's been paid. I received a second invoice. I paid the additional invoice the day I received it. And there was nothing nefarious done as during the process of my original rental and originally getting the first invoice and what has transpired. There were also some statements. I'm just going to let it go at that. Is there a motion to adjourn?